Today is a particularly interesting day for me. I'm sitting down to map out my self-publishing strategy for my next book. If you're new here, hi, I'm Pooja, and on this channel I talk about writing, self-publishing and productivity. So click subscribe if you'd like to follow me on this unpredictable writing and publishing journey. I haven't released a book since 2019, and since then I've learned so much. And also I have my notes from the last book release that I had. So here's the plan for today. I want to go through my notes from the last book release and the tidbits that I have in my notes section in my Notion, and sort of make a workbook for myself which I can fill out when I am working on each aspect of self-publishing. I'm planning to release this book in summer of 2023, which gives me about 7 to 8 months to work out my publishing strategy and my marketing and promotion plans. And even though I'll start working on my publishing plan right now, there'll be a lot of things that will be happening closer to the release. There'll be a lot of changes right up to the book release date, and even a lot of changes in the marketing plan, especially after the book release. That's my past experience with book releases. But I want to have a solid plan this time around when I go on to release this book. Published books folder, my book fundamentals and my book matter Word doc, which is where I'm going to start this time around. So for book fundamentals, I have to figure out my target readers, my genre. That's the first thing I'll be doing this time around. And if you've been following my writing vlogs, you'd know that there was a little struggle between which genre I want to aim at when I'm releasing this book. I sort of have a pretty good idea what I want to do, but I want to formally go into the Word document and write it down. The next thing I have here is title and subtitle. So the last book that I released was a non-fiction, and that had a subtitle. The next thing I have here is book category. So that would be more for the distribution platforms that I'll be using for publishing my book. So the book categories that I'll use on platforms like Amazon, on Pothi and other platforms like that. Next here I have keywords and then price. For the last three things, book category, keywords and price, what I like to do is go into Amazon and look at books that have similar target audience that my book will have. And it'll help if I have my genre figured out. So I can go into those genres and see what kind of book categories they are listing their books in. You cannot do this blindly because a lot will depend on the type of book you're writing, even if your target audience are overlapping or similar. So I have to pay special attention to the exact genre that I'm aiming for, and then find similar books and look at how they are placing their books, because my readers are going to overlap with theirs. And similarly look at the keywords they would be using in their sales description, as well as the pricing. And it's very important to look at the pricing for books in your genre and the books which are similar to your books. So the next thing that I have here is the book matter, and under that I'll have the book blurb and elevator pitch and other sales descriptions, depending on the book format type. So that's another thing that I should include in my fundamentals. So when I say book format, it will also include the trim size. So book format would be paperback, ebook, hardback, hardback with dust jacket, and audiobooks. Depending on which format you're going for, you'll need a book blurb that will go on the back of your book. If it's a paperback, if it's a hardback with dust jacket, you'll need those for the dust jacket flaps. It's good to have these things written out in advance. Elevator pitch is important because I like to use various versions of the elevator pitch and my book blurb as my sales description, to include it on the various publishing platforms that I'll be using, as well as when I'm creating my marketing strategy and my promotion plan. If I'm including social media I can grab these and put them in my social media content. It's good to have these things figured out in advance, and of course you can keep tweaking them and changing them as you're working on your book. The next and the most important thing is having your book manuscript ready. I like to break it into two. One would be the writing side of things and the other would be the editing side of things. Writing would be having your outline of the book, have your drafts ready, the revisions and rewrites, all those things. And editing would be a couple of rounds of self-edits and then at least 1 or 2 rounds of professional edit, hiring an editor to help you out with line edits or copy edits. For this book, I've been working on it for a very long time, and I think last year in April I hired a developmental editor to help me with the developmental edits for this book. And if you'd like to know why I hired a developmental editor and how I went about it, places where I posted asking for editors to contact me, the sample edits that I got, how much I paid for them, my experience with the editors who provided sample edits, and how I focused on and narrowed down who I would be hiring. I kind of documented everything, so I'll link that video for you if you are interested in finding out a little more about how the hiring of a professional editor, how that process looks like. And the next part is marketing strategy and promotion plans. And I've realized after publishing so many books that this is a very, very important part of your publishing plan, and a lot of time and intention should be given for formulating a plan that will work for your book. Now, when it comes to book marketing, there'll be times when you'll be actively marketing your book and passively marketing your book. So there are different phases and different techniques to market your book. I have a few videos on book marketing, so I'll link those for you. Watch those videos because they'll give you a deeper understanding of what book marketing would look like. Now, I will be making a separate video where I'll be sitting down just like today and thinking about all the marketing strategies that I could use and what my promotion plan would be going forward. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel and your notification bell is turned on. But getting back to the next thing that I have, book cover. That would include book cover, the exterior, as well as I like to include the formatting for the interiors as well in this step. In the past, I've done it myself, but this time around, I'm hoping to hire a professional to help me out with the book cover design as well as the interiors, because I don't like formatting the interiors by myself. It's painful. So I'm hoping that my budget will be such that it'll allow me to hire a professional. Hiring a professional editor or a cover designer will take some time because I'll have to vet them to make sure that they're the right people for me, as well as working with them takes some time, especially if they are already working on other projects. You'll have to work with their schedule. It's good to start working on these things in advance. When I'm actually sitting down and working on this part of self-publishing strategy, I'll have to look at not just the kind of cover I want, but the kind of book cover that's expected out of the genre. When it comes to interiors, what are the expectations there, and have some rough ideas so that when I do hire someone for the book cover design, I can give them my ideas so that they can start working on it. It's going to be a first time for me, so I'm going to document that as well. And the last thing is publishing, and here I would want to focus on the different publishing platforms that I want to publish my books through. In the past, I've only used Amazon's KDP account to publish my book, and for paperbacks in India, I've used Pothi. So I'm going to re-evaluate that, because this time around I would like to publish wide, make my books available on other platforms. I'll have to think about that and look at the pros and cons and figure out which would be the right option for this book. I have a list of all the steps that I've taken to self-publish my books in the past. So if you want that, you can get that on my website. But I'll also try to make this workbook available for you. So check the website. What I have over here is in Notion, but I'll make it available for you in PDF because I know a lot of you don't use Notion, or it's easier if you are writing things down, because when I'm thinking through, even I like to write things down. So if that's something that you like to do, I'll make sure that to make it available for you in PDF format so you can just print it and have it ready for you. I have the links to the marketing videos as well as any templates that I create. I make it available on my website. So check the description of this video where I'll have all those links. For more on book marketing, watch this video and I'll see you in the next one.